A Texas police officer is now on leave and under investigation. This after allegedly using excessive force on a teenager at a pool party. Several officers were responding to a disturbance at the pool. It's in a Dallas suburb. It happened Friday night, and you guessed it, all caught on tape, or at least part of it. So you're about to see an edited version of the video that is sparking the outrage, and you will see an officer who's running, taking a fall, and then later you will see that same officer take down a 14-year-old girl in a bikini.
It was his.
I'm just saying, don't take off running when the cops get here. What's up, man? Oh, thank you.
It was some guy. One of these.
Okay, guys, I appreciate it.
None of them were involved.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
It was this guy's. It was that guy's.
Whoa, sir,
Get on the ground.
hold up, sir.
I told you to stay. Your is down on the ground. Right now, you're staying. Don't make me run around here with 30 pounds of gear on the sun because you want to screw around out here. Y'all keep standing there and run your mouths. You're going to go too. Get out of here. I already told you. Leave. I don't care. Leave. You're leaving now. You're leaving now. You are leaving now. Leave. That way.
Don't touch shit.
Then get your going. Keep running your mouth.
Oh my mama.
Leave.
Oh my mama.
You know what? I already told you.
Yo, Jumper, what the is going on? Why is he acting so crazy?
On your face!
What is he doing?
I now want to show you another angle of that same takedown that you were just watching, and this is captured by another bystander's camera.
What are you holding her down for?
On your face!
On the ground! Can you not? Drag her! Why are you dragging her? What is she doing? What is she doing?
Why didn't you tell y'all to leave again?
Film it, okay? But you chill out, back off.
I literally have freedom of speech. I 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 have freedom of speech.
Okay, film it, film it.
I am filming it. I am filming it. I'm at 33 seconds right now. I'm filming it. I'll send it, okay? And then he also hit me too. He hit me too, though. He hit me in the face, okay? Because that's abuse. You know that, right? For freedom of speech.
He asked you to move 3 times.
And I was walking away. And I started walking away. You're not going to be a cop no longer, though. Yeah, like, come on, Daddy. Get your dad here.
Go.
I want to bring in our law enforcement experts to talk about this extraordinarily chaotic situation. Joining me, CNN legal analyst, attorney, and former police officer himself, Philp Holloway, who's in Atlanta, and then CNN law enforcement analyst and retired NYPD detective, Harry Houck. So, Phil, I want to just get your take upon seeing those two pieces of video, understanding that we did not see anything beforehand, and we may not be seeing the entire picture.
That's true, Ashley. You may not be seeing the entire picture, but I have seen enough of this, and I've watched the unedited version of this, and the amount of profanity, the amount of sheer violence on the part of this one officer. Note, it's only the one. The other officers are relatively calm, they're relatively collected, and they are de-escalating the situation. What this particular officer is doing when he's running around screaming and yelling, he's escalating the situation. So in addition to being unprofessional, I cannot conceive of why he would pull his weapon out under those circumstances. We are trained not to pull our weapons out as police officers unless we are prepared legally and otherwise psychologically even to use that weapon. And I can't see any justifiable basis for that. And when I saw that, I literally cringed. and it looked like the other officers who were on scene with this person who was their supervisor, they looked like they were cringing as well.
Harry, do you see any kind of defense at all with, again, the snippet that we've seen, and I too have seen the unedited version. It's only 7 minutes long, and it doesn't give us a whole lot more insight.
Yeah, I agree with Phil here. That officer was totally out of control, and he was the only one. You saw part of that video there where an officer was talking to one of the kids. And
says thanks, man, or something polite. Yeah.
Right, he was very polite to the kid, and I think that this officer definitely escalated the situation here. Where when you arrive on a situation like this, you try and just find out what happened, and then just tell the kids to move on. I mean, if there was a fight, it was a damage of property or something like that, you might have to make an arrest, all right? But you talk to the kids, come on guys, let's go, the party's over, move on, and they usually will move on, all right? You might have 1 or 2 agitators you have to deal with, but that's it. But here, and like Phil said, when I saw that officer draw his weapon, even that bugged me. I said, I can't believe this officer's
even though there
drawing
were
a weapon.
I
saw there was one guy coming around by him, but there was another officer there. All right, maybe he thought he was going for a weapon. I don't know. All right. But to me, it didn't look like that he should have been pulling his weapon at that time, because there were 2 other officers right behind that man.
Who put their hand on his arm at that time as well, right?
Right, and when you see the officer come around towards the other people as they're walking away, the 2 other officers come to the side, and I bet you one of those officers is saying, what are you doing pulling that gun? Put it away.
So Phil, I always want to give people the benefit of the doubt, and I always caution viewers, especially those who see a YouTube clip and then put comments as though they were there, to please think about all the things that may have happened off video. And I could hear a lot of agitation and a lot of really rough talk on the behalf of the kids. But I too was a kid who, went to pool parties and was probably a brat, etc. When do you know that this is just kids, and exactly as Harry said, just scatter, kids? And when do you know that maybe something could turn into a mob mentality, and cops are under fire right now and maybe could become targets themselves?
Well, actually, it looked like the police had things sort of under control, and the crowd was dispersing until this one officer sort of runs out of his car and he goes crazy. And it's like you see him getting out of his vehicle, and it's in broad daylight. He's holding his flashlight as if it were a billy club, and he's running as fast as he can. He falls down, he trips, he gets back up, and he's just running from person to person, screaming at them, yelling profanities. And it gets into this us against them police mentality that sometimes creeps into the law enforcement culture. And police agencies would be well served to get into the idea of community-oriented policing and get away from this us against them idea.
And what about just the 911 calls? Because clearly that was made. There was some report made to the police. Harry, will that help to shed light on what was in the mindset of the officer? I'm just trying to think if there's anything that could have set that particular officer off, other than just being completely renegade.
Well, no, I don't know what it is, because as far as, I've been reading, the 911 call was basically there was a group of kids out of control, there might have been a fight, and that's basically it. When you roll up on a scene like that, you can see what's going on. You see kids are already starting to disperse. Other officers are on the scene. So why that officer acted that way, I really can't tell you, but I can tell you one thing. It was definitely wrong in the way he handled the situation.
I mean, 14-year-old girl in a bikini, how dangerous could she be? Even if she were mouthy, for heaven's sake.
And like you said, kids are mouthy.
Kids are mouthy, yeah, but my God, how terrifying to have a gun being pulled at this, this pool party. Phil Holloway, good to see you. Thank you for that. Harry Houck, as always, thank you. Appreciate you coming in.